everybody, my name is Cogline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today, in this one, I'll be doing another deck profile video, and on this one, it is going to be on Tearlaments. Yes, my boy is back. This is one of my favorite decks of all time, and now that Castria Arise Heart is banned, it looks to be a deck that's actually worth playing in this next format. So yeah, this is the deck list I have built. I have a couple of my friends help me build this as well. It's kind of their idea. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video, starting off with Tearlaments Castria. Again, this is just one of the best cards in the deck. It's a mill 3 on summon, it's a mill 2 in graveyard. It does so much. It's a level 7, so it can make like Draco Sack plays if you needed to go there. It does a lot by itself. Very, very, very good card. Absolutely need to play 3 of this card. Next thing up is 3 Castria Fenrir. Again, this does multiple things in the deck. Number 1, it's can search Tearlament Castria, so it's just a way, free body plus a search. 2, it's Interruption. If going second, it does a lot. Going first, you can just kind of end it on your end board, and all of a sudden, it's insane, right? So again, just another thing, it's a level 7 as well, so having both Fenrir and Tear Cash gets you into like Draco Sack plays. Very, very good to have this in your deck. It's one of your going second cards in this deck as well. Very, very good. Must play 3 of this, I think, as well. Next thing up is 3 King of the Swamp. Again, it's just kind of a mandatory thing for you to play now that Kit is banned. Again, this not only acts as a, helps you fusion summon 2 other guys in the graveyard, but 2, it can search polymerization that helps you kind of go second, kind of make a Guardian Chimera during your opponent's turn. So it kind of could act as a going second card depending on what your hand is looking like. Always, you have to play 3 of this card. And I don't think you really can play any other substitution card just because this can search poly and can kind of help you go second into board. So I kind of do like the King of the Swamp. Now on to the tier length. We're playing 2 Rhino Heart, 1 Hot Phoenix, 1 Merely, and 1 Sheeran. Again, we're playing the cards that are 1 because they're the way for you to fusion summon during any time. Just very, very good cards you need to be playing at 1. Only playing the 2 Rhino Heart and deciding not to max out on it. Again, Rhino Heart by itself no longer does that much because Kit is banned. So by itself, it can only send like a Castria and then mill 2. So that's about it. So basically, you kind of don't want to open this card. You kind of just want to see it in there. You have ways to search it as well, but you kind of just want to not see it as much in the game. So we're only playing 2 Rhino Heart. We're playing 3 Diviner of the Herald. Again, this is a very good card, not only because it can dump any of the Ishizu cards. It's a tuner as well, so if you dump one in the Ishizu, it becomes a 6. So a 6 plus any 4 gets you into a Baron Negate, which is always going to be nice for you as well. Again, very, very good card that I think you should be playing because this is it's a little different when it comes to Rhino Heart because Rhino Heart's only a mill 2 while Diviner is a mill 5, or if you already have something like that, a Shuffler instead. So that's why I'm deciding to play 3 Diviner instead of 3 Rhino Heart. Again, just one of each Ishizu. Again, a Keldo and Medora are kind of bricks, but you kind of want to play it because they are shufflers and you have the field spell at 3. Again, Kelbeck, Yugioh. Again, they're mill 5s. This is how it is. Remember that Kelbeck is a hand trap. I think a lot of people forget that this card is surprisingly a hand trap. It was one of my favorite hand traps during Tier 0. Tearlament, it was just a very fun card to play with. But again, it's mainly there because you're trying to mill. But don't forget this is a hand trap in this deck as well. And then the last monsters is the 2 Shaddoll Beast, and Hell Shaddoll. Again, Hell Shaddoll is nice because you can mill more cards out of your deck, which is what you want to try to do. And Beast, it's a draw card, so might as well play it as well. Can get you into a window play as well if you can mill any tier with it as well. So again, very, very good. So that is it for the monsters. Now on to the spell cards. We're playing 3 Primitive Planet Paralino. Very, very good card. Again, this is like the main focus of the deck now. Instead of trying to fusion summon as much as you can and play during your opponent's turn, you're trying to set up on your spell traps more now, so you can actually interact with your opponent during your opponent's turn. So playing 3 field spell mandatory plus the terraforming and the Tribute Karma is just kind of mandatory for this. Again, very good card. It's a Rhoda. It's a pop. Lets people gain, or your fusions gain 500. Does so much for the archetype. Don't understand why this is not limited, to be honest with you, but hey, we'll take it. Next thing up is your going second cards, 3 Super Poly and 2 Triple Tactic Talents. I think Talents is one of the best cards you could be playing right now, but I don't really want to max out on it because it kind of is a brick. So we're going to kind of keep it at 2. Super Poly, again, is a broken card, but sometimes isn't there, but you can always side it out in the matchups where Super Poly doesn't do anything. But when you see Super Poly actually come up, it's one of the best board breakers in the game, But it's not good in every matchup, but in this, like, you can super poly your own like Tearlaments and go into guys and then proc the Tearlament effect. So I think that's pretty much worth playing super poly in the main deck. So that's your 9 going second cards. We're playing 3 Fenrir, 3 super poly, 2 talents, and technically poly is your 9th, and then Kelbeck as your 10th. So, you know, pretty decent lineup there, I would say. 2 Foolish Barrel Goods. We're not maxing out on 3. There's not really that many spell traps you want to be milling. It's only a once per turn effect as well, and we're milling a lot anyways, so there's a lot of the time where you don't really need the Foolish Barrel Goods. The reason why I am playing, because it is a starter, sending like a Trivi Karma or a Solic to get into plays is going to be nice for you to start off with. So, but I don't think you really need to max out on the Foolish Barrel Goods. 3 Tearlament Scream. Again, I'm not maxing out on Scream. I don't think it's necessary to mill or necessarily to play this. I understand you want to mill while having this in hand. You can mill a lot, but I'd rather just play it because of its graveyard effect to get to your spell traps is really the only reason why I'm playing it. So I like it at 2. I think it's perfectly fine at 2. The one I've mentioned, Poly, because you're playing the King of the Swamp. Terraforming, because search the planet. Foolish Burial, again, this acts as not only dump a Shizu card, but if you already have something like King of the Swamp in the graveyard, you can just dump a tier name and just start fusion summoning from there. So again, Foolish Burial makes sense to be playing in this deck. Now for your traps, you're playing 2 Solic and 1 Tearlament Metanoid. I think obviously 2 Solic is kind of standard. I don't think you really need to necessarily be maxing out on Solic. There's really no point for that. It somewhat is a brick in your hand. Like Scream isn't, because if you have a Tearlament name, it can help you mill. While Solic, it doesn't really do anything in your hand unless you mill like the Rhino Heart or something like that. So I just prefer playing 2. I do like its graveyard effect to search any Tearlament, but again, you also want this in your end board. This is what you're trying to search off Scream, is to search Solic, because you do like its effect to imperm and stuff like that. 1 Metanoids, I'm not playing the counter trap. As you see, the counter trap is in the side deck. I think Metanoids is just a little better because 1, it's a Book of Moon, but 2, it's a guaranteed fusion summon as well. So not only is it a book, so something like Purely, you can book one of their guys, then get a guaranteed fusion summon after that, I think is probably better than what Crime can do. And then last thing is Trivi Karma. Not only is this able to search the field spell, but it can search any of the Tearlament spell traps. So you can search Scream, you can search Solic or Metanoise. It doesn't matter. So this is basically, can search any Tearlament spell trap that you want. So I think that just kind of makes it where it's worth playing. Not just there to search the field spell. You can search any Tearlament spell trap off this. So I do like this. Yeah, so that is it for the deck. I'm not playing the Revolution Synchron stuff or anything like that. I don't think that's really necessary. I think you just want to mill as much as possible and see where things go. Side deck can be whatever you want. I think Crow is insane in this format. So there's that. Phantasme against the Unchained matchup is also nice as well, but the side deck can be whatever you want. Crime I would put in there as well, just because it's Crime. Tearlament Crime is always nice. Now onto the extra deck. Starting off with the links, we're playing Cherubini with the Draco Sack package. So basically, if you don't know what this is, you make the Draco Sack off like the Kier, Cash, and Fenrir. Summon 2 tokens, make Cherubini, dump a King of the Swamp, and then make a Sprind. It's a guaranteed way to get to a fusion summon because Merely is still legal in this format, so it's very, very good. So I think that's the reason why you have to play Cherubini, because it is a guaranteed way to get to a fusion summon. Same thing with Sprind, it's only in here for the Draco Sack line. And then a Nightmare Server is just a generic link 2 that you can make. You know, the pop card might come up, but it's just a generic link 2 you can make. XYZs, we are playing, obviously, Draco Sack. Again, this comes up for the Cherubini line and stuff. I'm playing Redoer. Again, having this with like Sharon and Rhino Heart gets a guaranteed way to fusion summon during your opponent's turn to something like either like a Kaleido Heart, or if you don't want to make a Kaleido Heart, you can make anything because Redoer is for an effect, not for cost. So that's very, very good. Abyss Dweller is a new thing I'm putting in here. Again, I think Dweller might be good going into this next format. It hits the Unchained matchup, hits the Manadia matchup, hits even the Tearlament matchup if you're versing the mirror match. So I think this is very, very nice to be playing. Again, instead of making like, maybe you mill like Unchained. If you're versing Unchained, you mill off Kelbeck, see if they're playing Unchained. Now you can make a Dweller. It's very, very nice to be playing that. So I think Dweller is kind of good this format, so I am playing that. Now for the fusions, Mud Dragon, again, is only really here for the super poly target. But you can technically make this with like a a name plus a beast. I think that's the only way you can do it, or like one of the extra deck guys. But Mud Dragon, again, is mostly there just for the super poly target. Winda, because we're playing the Shaddoll package. Garua, again, not only a super poly target, but if you mill like 2 names, but you have nothing else to fusion summon with, at least Garua is there to fusion summon. Dragus Tapelia, not only is it another super poly target, but you can also hard make this with something like if you already spent a Rukalos, you can make and you are having another way to fusion summon, you can make a Dragus Tapelia to get more interruptions. Rukalos, again, kind of mandatory. The King of the Swamp in any tier does it. Very, very good card to be playing. Kaleido Heart, also just kind of a mandatory card you must be playing. Again, it's a very good card to shuffle back, and it gets the graveyard effect to dump any tier, so very, very good. Same thing with Grapha, kind of just a mandatory card because you're playing the King of the Swamp, and it's a kind of a negate, so there is that as well. Guardian Chimera, because we are playing the polymerization, so this kind of acts as your going second, try to break board with Guardian Chimera, and then of course the one of Baron, because we are playing the Diviner. So yeah, that is it for the deck profile. Now let's get into some combos, shall we? Alrighty, now on to the combo portion of the video here. As you can see, I don't have a hand yet, so I'm going to show you me shuffling the deck so you don't know this is just like a predetermined hand or anything. But then again, it doesn't really matter because you need the mills to go through, so we're going to draw a 5-card hand here. Ooh, we got a decent hand here. So, how do I want to play this? There's many ways you can play this hand if you're scared of like Droll and Lockbird or something like that, but I think we always lead with the Fenrir here. Then we'll go, again, we're going to act like we're not scared of Droll, so we're going to go Terraforming, searching out the field spell. Then activate this field spell. Probably Sharon. What does Sharon do for me? Well, we'll get Sharon. And then we'll go effective the Tearlament or Castria Fenrir to search the Tearlament cache. And then we can go Foolish Barrel Good. We'll dump Scream to graveyard. Where is Scream? Dump Scream, and then we'll go Scream effect to search Solix. So we have both spell traps now in our hand. We can go Tearlament cache, banishing the Scream, and then effect to mill 3 here. 1, 2, 3. That straight up did not do anything. We can go Trevi Karma effect now because we can search out the... Where the fuck is it? We'll search out the second Scream that we have. Now we have access to all of them, so we'll go Scream effect. Now we'll go Sharon effect special, pitching the merely, and then milling 3. Come on, hit something, hit something. We didn't hit anything. So we'll go merely Chainlink 1, Scream Chainlink 2. Hopefully hit a King of the Swamp here. We hit a Hophinus. Oh wait, this we already built that, so that goes back to the top. Fuck. Damn, that's not great. So we can go shuffle back merely. Yeah, I don't like this. Is not great. Fuck. I think we actually go bottom. Nothing I can do with that. Wow, this is kind of rough. Because we want to... we'll go this and the Sharon. We'll make a Garura here. Garura. And then we'll go Hophinus effect here. Then bottom. And then extra to make Dragos Stapelia. So that's pretty much our end board, unfortunately. But it's still decent because we still have the Solic. We still have the Metanoise. So, during our opponent, we even forgot to search off Solic, to be honest with you, so that's something we could have done. So, if we actually search off Solic, So our interruptions basically is Solic and Metanoise. We have a Scream, so we can mill 3. We have Dragos Tapelia still. Oh my god, and we're milling 7. Holy shit, holy shit. We are milling 7. Oh, that's not, there we go, mill 7. Oh my god, we hit a King of the Swamp. Oh my god, and we Hell Shaddoll for mill 2. Holy fuck, so that's if we haven't wasted this yet. So we Hell Shaddoll actually for 3. That's actually kind of insane. So we mill 3, but we know all our names are at the bottom. But holy fuck, we got both shufflers in here too. God damn. So that makes it a lot more interesting. So now Medora can, now the field spell is completely live. So you have a shit ton of interaction here, right? So you have Drago to negate, you have a Fenrir to banish, you have a Meta Noise now to book a Muna card, then dump a guy. I always dump like Hafines because I think the other two are just more important. And then we can go Hafines effect. We mill the King of the Swamp, but we didn't mill Rhino. God damn, we had all our guys in the bottom. We can still go Kaleido Heart here because we got both of the King of the Swamps here. So we go with that, special out our Kaleido Heart. And then now Kaleido Heart is an interruption. We have the Solic as well. But the Solic doesn't really do anything because we had to waste a King of the Swamp. But, you know, that's still something. That's a negate and then dump like a fusion guy. So you have a lot of interaction, and you still have the pop off the field spell because of you have these shufflers in graveyard, which can also be interruption depending on the deck you're playing, right? So, I mean, not the greatest end board in the world, but hey, that's something. So that's kind of our first combo there. Let's see what we can do with our next combo. Alrighty, now on to another combo here. So again, I'll shuffle up the deck just a little bit here, and then we'll draw our 5 cards. Goddamn, we drew the Fenrir again. Holy fuck. This is an interesting hand because we already have the tier cash. So, interesting. What do we do here? We'll probably activate the field spell. We'll see what we get off the field spell first. Search. Probably Sharon is fine because we can get a Garua off of that. So we'll special summon out the Fenrir. And then Fenrir effect will get us into just another tier cache is probably fine. Nah, we'll search Fenrir. We'll search Fenrir because then we can go tier cache effect, banishing the Fenrir, and we'll make sure we still have a lot of these still in the deck. So we'll mill 3, we hit a king, we hit a scream. We'll go scream effect. We'll get into another Meta Noise. So we have Solic Meta Noise again. That's pretty good, but that's because we hard drew the traps. But now we can go Sheeran, pitch Hafines, mill 3 once again. We hit nothing. We'll go Hafines effect. We have the King of the Swamp in the graveyard here. So that gets us into Rukalos. And then we can... Let's see. We can go Overlay, make a Draco Sack. We'll go Draco Sack effect, detaching the Tearlaments Castria, summon 2 tokens. I'll immediately link off the tokens into Cherubini. Cherubini effect to dump a King of the Swamp. We should have multiple, like a shit ton in here. Mill King of the Swamp, and then we will we'll link these 2 off into Sprind and make Sprind effect to mill Merely, because we haven't triggered the Merely effect yet. Then do Merely effect. We'll bottom this and the Sheer. We could have even made like a Dweller if we really wanted to. We had multiple ways to play that, but I decided to go for this line instead. So we can go Merely, King of the Swamp, and Sheeran Engrave to make ourselves the Kaleido Heart. And then I don't think there's really necessarily anything else we need to do. So technically, I can go Planet Effect, pop the Kaleido, dump like Solic, and then Solic retain into like a Hafines. Yeah, it could be decent, but we have Kaleido Heart anyway, so we really don't need the Hafines to do anything. I think I'm still going to do this. We're going to pop this and then affect a Kaleido, pitch Solic from the deck. Then we go Kaleido, bring back, and then we'll go Solic effect to search into our Tearlaments Castria. Yeah, there we go. And that's your end board there. So we have a lot of interruptions, right? So we pass on this. So we have a sprint interruption. We can do this at any time because we have Tearlaments Castria. So we can go Tearlaments Cache. Let's say they do something. So Tearlaments Cache, banish. We'll banish the Scream Engrave. We'll go Chain Link 1 Sprint, or we don't need to do Sprint Chain Link. We can go Chain Link 1 Tier Cache to mill 3, and then Chain Link 2 Sprint, detaching the Fenrir off of Draco Sack to return one of our opponent's monsters back to the hand. And then we get a mill 3. Rhino merely. Oh my god, that's insane. Well, we'll obviously do Merely effect. We'll do Merely and King of the Swamp to make... Did we mill, like, any Shaddols in there? No, we didn't. Cool. I was gonna, like, we can make Winda. We just make the Grapha that does nothing. I don't want to do that. But there's really no other target. So we can go this. But now we have Solic. We can dump the Kaleido if we really want to. Then Kaleido can bring back a tier. So let's say we already triggered merely, so we go Sheeran, and then we go Sheeran effect bottom and do the Grapha, because Grapha is worthless, to make the Dragos Stapelio, which is another interruption. Then we have the Rukalos negate, and we still have the Book of Moon off of Metanoise as well. So, you know, still a lot of interactions there as well. And then up to our last combo here, I just want to show off a combo with Diviner in hand. So we're going to start off with Diviner. So we'll shuffle up the deck still, and then we'll draw 4, 2, 3, 4. Man, I keep drawing fucking traps. It's kind of insane. Okay, so we go King of the Swamp here to go ahead and search ourselves the polymerization from deck. Then we just go normal Diviner, because there's really nothing else for us to do. We'll go Diviner effect to dump, we'll always dump a Yugioh. I think keeping Gelbeck in deck is better, just because, again, it acts as a hand trap, so you always want to keep that in deck. So we'll go Yugioh effect to mill 5. We hit nothing. We'll go Scream effect. We'll get out Metanoise once again. We have both spell traps, because I keep just hard drawing the fucking traps. But, so we go Scream. And now we can go Tier Cash if I really want to. Man, I milled another King of the Swamp too. That's kind of fucking insane. So I can go like Sheeran effect. I think Sheeran is probably better. So we go Sheeran, pitch the Castria, mill 3, 2, 3. Oh my god, bro. Holy shit. I don't even want to trigger this Rhino. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. Don't even want to trigger this Rhino Heart. I don't think there's a point. I don't really think there's a point. I don't think I trigger this fucking Rhino. But I feel like it's gonna be a mistake if I don't. Oh, but keeping both spell traps are gonna be nice. So no, we're not gonna go for Rhino. So we'll just go Kelbeck 1, Tier Cash 2. So we'll mill 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Got immediately punished by doing that. Yeah, we hit a Keldo, I guess, is probably fine. We hit a Trivy Karma as well, so we'll do Trivy Karma effect. We'll get out the Field Spell from deck, and then Field Spell effect. Oh, no, we have one more. We have one more. Thank fucking God. I got scared there. So we go Tier Cash now. We'll make a Baron first with these two before committing to Tier Cash, because just to play around Nid. Then we'll do Tier Cash effect, banishing Scream. We don't really need a Scream. And then we'll mill 3 off this. We hit Solic. We'll go Solic effect. We'll get already normal, so we'll get Haffinis, I guess is probably fine. Yeah. So, not the greatest of end boards, but now we can go set to pass. So now we have a guaranteed fusion in Metanoise still, because, and it's even better now because we can make Kaleido Heart during our opponent's turn as well. We have multiple King of the Swamp, so we can do a lot still. Like, it doesn't look like an impressive end board, but having both spell traps, just having your spell traps live in this deck is always going to be nice. So you can always hop Phoenix into stuff, so hopefully we don't fucking mill Merely, but we did. We'll go Merely effect, bottom himself, Phoenix, and the Rhino Heart to make Kaleido Heart, just because we want to keep the Sharon in deck so we have another way to fusion summon. Oh, we didn't do Phoenix, I'm sorry. So we have another way to fusion summon. So now Book can do something into a Phoenix play. We go Phoenix effect now, bottom himself and the King of the Swamp into a Rukalos. So that's also nice as well. So you got a Book, and you still have the negate with the Kaleido Heart. You have a Baron Omni negate. You still have a field spell pop because you have the Medora and Keldo in graveyard, which also acts as interruption depending on the deck as well. So yeah, that's kind of the combos. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content on the channel, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.